A Pace Academy football player in critical condition after he was injured on a play during Friday night's homecoming game, causing a traumatic brain injury. Our Tracy A. McPeer talked to a sports medicine doctor about how injuries like this can happen on the field.
Ever since Pace Academy sophomore Jordan Sloan was injured in Friday night's game against Westminster, his classmates have been showing their support with the hashtag #StayStrongSloan. It was on a play in the third quarter when he was injured. Some parents at the game say it appeared players' helmets collided, but neither school has confirmed exactly how Sloan was injured.
In football, the collisions are very violent. It's just that it's an unavoidable part of the sport.
Dr. David Marshall is the medical director of sports medicine at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. He couldn't speak to Sloan's case, but says helmets can only do so much to protect football players.
The football helmet was never designed to prevent concussions. The football helmet was designed to prevent skull fractures, to prevent facial trauma, to prevent chipped teeth.
Marshall explains injuries range from a concussion, which can usually heal on its own, to a traumatic brain injury. TBIs typically require surgery. Marshall says a player's best chance to heal is to pull them out of the game after the first concussive hit. A second hit could turn a concussion into a TBI.
When there's another blow to the brain after a concussion that causes massive cerebral edema or swelling in the brain.
Marshall also suggests players use a buddy system.
The buddy doesn't look right in the huddle. If he or she seems kind of sluggish, it's your responsibility to kind of grab them or report them and tell the referee.
Giving these athletes the best chance of recovery.
The brain cells typically don't grow back. So anytime you lose some brain cells for whatever reason, the risk of having long-term problems associated with that injury is greater.
Marshall says it can be helpful for student athletes to take a cognitive test before football season. That way, if there is an impact injury, they have a baseline test to compare their answers to know if they have a concussion and how bad their injury is.